You can stay on your side, nigga. Please don't be rapping my side. Cause it's more than sit die, nigga. And yeah, you shorty gon' ride. Now you want your feels. Cause she wanna roll with the real. Tell me what is your deal. Niggas come up with the kill, no, no. Fuck, how you feel? Cause I'm chasing to the money with my niggas live for. How you feel? Cause I'm fucking all these honeys with my niggas live for. How you feel? Cause I'm whipping in the forever with my niggas live for. How you feel? Cause I'm tripping in the I gotta watch myself. I gotta watch where my head goes. You cannot stop the man. You cannot call me a fan, though.
Yo, what's up guys? I'm back again. Not gonna be doing a beginner guide this time. I'm gonna be doing more of like a video where I test out a really popular build that's been like popping up a lot in high elo NA and high elo EU. It's fully lethality red Kayn. I wanna test it out and see what the fuss is about. My initial thoughts with this build is I think that it's super good scaling build. I think it's really good if you're really good at positioning. I think that the Gore Drinker regular build is probably just more efficient most games, but with this build you can usually look to go this build into squish your like targets. Let's say they have two like tanks and you need to be able to shred through them as well as kill the squishies, and you can't really go blue because you won't be able to kill them and you really have to 1v9. I would recommend this build in those scenarios where you need to kill the squishies plus you also have to kind of kill the tanks. It's really strong. So yeah, let's get into it. Good E, nice. Alright, now we just use our E to close the gap. You can pretty much use your E for that, just for the movement speed. You don't always have to use it for the wall. It's really good to use it when you're ganking. Alright, to one, I'm gonna look to take my bot side here and then maybe look for a gank bot. I'm really trying to get my form, so I'm gonna try to prioritize the Galio and the Nasus. We can clean this up. I'm gonna try to hit some Gallios so I can get my form here. Alright, we gotta go for the Philos now since he's the closest. Pretty much able to get both. It's great. Alright, so like always in the previous videos, my guides on Kayn, like I said, on most junglers you should always be like pushing the wave after a gank, especially when the wave is in that spot. You want to make sure you are fixing the wave for your laner, just so they don't get frozen on and then they have to walk up too far. They can just get re-ganked and a lot of bad stuff. You just free XP and gold, so there's no reason not to push. So for a typical first back on Kayn on this build, on red Kayn this build, I would most likely go with Dirk and Tyr. It's just really efficient. But I have a really huge back, so I can pretty much start building into my Eclipse. Like I said it earlier though, yeah, this build has a lot less CDR. I've been testing it a little bit before, and I do kind of see the lack of CDR. I can kind of feel it with like the R plus the E later on. So one thing that I do want to go over is team fighting with this build. You don't really want to like look to face tank as much as you would with Gore Drinker because you're, like I said, you're not as tanky. The shield is kind of huge though, but you kind of want to put a little bit more back, more calculated. Look for angles to kind of get the W in. Alright, let's go over the runes here. So for the runes, I went with this game in with you typical red Kayn runes: Conquer, Triumph, Tenacity, Last Stand, into the Resolve tree. We go with Conditioning and Revitalize. The Revitalize is for the healing, obviously. It's really strong, and the Conditioning as well. It's really good with Death Dance. So you could choose to opt for the Tenacity rune instead, which is really good as well. The one in the Resolve tree. Most of the time I like to wait to use ult until like I 100% need it. Especially if I know that they might have flash, I like to hold it until I see the flash animation, then I press R and you can pretty much follow them when they flash. And it's really insane because obviously, like you see here, I followed the cards and killed them. So yeah, the damage is definitely there though. I do a lot of damage with this build, especially if I get a lead. With this build you can slow up pretty hard, to be honest, because you get way more damage compared to Gore Drinker at the first item spike. Let's go over the build. So the build, the three, let's go over the core items. For the three core items that I usually go on this build is Eclipse, Manamune into Death Dance, and then you can go for like a Maw, Cleaver as well, or a GA, depending on what you're up against. But the three cores should always pretty much be the same. We're a lot stronger now. That was a really good Q. Nice. Alright, we got the knockup. I can get my ult off here. Pretty much wipe them. Get the Braum passive. Alright, we gotta get out of the Galio knockup. Oh, that's okay. We can pretty much one shot him here. Nice. You won't really see a lot of damage though until you really finish that Manamune. When you finish that Manamune though, the power spike is insane. Manamune power spike is huge. So another thing is I want to go over is pretty big counter I would say to Kayn, like pretty big counters that could be really annoying for this build. Champions like can pretty much kite you, Callista Vayne. Those are like two champions that I can think of at the top of my head that would be really annoying to play against with this build. And just in general, Red Kayn is really bad into those champs, as well as he's really bad into Graves. Thing is though, with the Graves matchup, like I said, you can, as in the previous videos, you can outplay him if you're good and you path properly. There's ways to outplay the Graves, but if the Graves is good, he can pretty much kite you super hard. So it's pretty much a skill matchup. Alright, we can chase down this Galio here. We can make a really aggressive play here because I'm really strong. I can one-shot the Aphelios. Rekkane's really good into champions that have no mobility though. Because I'm super tanky and I can DPS a lot if I can stick onto them. So champs like Aphelios, MF, Jhin. Well, Jhin can be hard if he gets fed, but those type of champs, Kayn is not bad into. As well as tanks in the jungle, obviously. All types of tank Red Kayn's really good into, and some bruisers. Not all though. Bruisers are pretty annoying for Kayn in general, both forms. I can make a super aggressive play here. Yep, just flashing the Aphelios here. Pretty much just one shot him, I think. Nice. I can kill the Karthus too. I'm super tanky with Death Dance. Hey, look at the tier score, 333. Angel numbers. If you guys like angel numbers, let me know what angel numbers you guys like in the comments. I really like 999 and 333, really cool numbers. So now we have our Manamune like fully stacked though, so our damage is definitely there. We do a lot of damage now. Let's see if I can limit test here. I want to make sure I ult, so I don't take any more extra damage. Oh, that W, that Q damage is insane. Lower elos, people don't really know when to do Baron though. Like in this situation here, if I didn't ping this Baron, we would have definitely not gone for it, and we would have just been wasting a lot of time and just let them scale up. Just make sure you're being really active with your pings and when you're chatting. Just don't be toxic. I think it's better just to. I used to be really toxic as well, and I think that it held me back a lot back then when I was climbing in platinum and stuff. I was like super hard stuck plat because I would flame a lot and type a lot, and yeah, I think that when I finally stopped doing that, I saw a lot of improvement. I think that for sure, making sure you're using your chat to tell them what to do and pinging where to go. It's really important because see, I pinged my team here and they all listened to me for the Baron, and we secured a Baron at pretty much 20 minutes, which is pretty huge. So yeah, for our last item, I decided to go for the Grudge because I'm super fed and the Grudge slow is really nuts with like my ability. Since I'm a really heavy ability based champ, I can apply that slow on them and just stick onto them. This way they can't kite me and I'm able to get my damage off. Red Kayn's biggest weakness is kiting. Like in most champions that have range can kite you pretty hard and it can make it really annoying. But with Grudge, it makes it kind of impossible for them to kite you, to be honest. I can easily take this 2v1. I'm up 2 levels. Jesus. I dodged the Galio knockup. I'm like full health at all times. Holy shit. Alright. Baki flashes 1 hit. Alright. You can kind of kite me out here pretty hard if I fuck up. Okay, I got it. Got him. Sniped his ass. Okay. Alright, boys, let's get it. See what you guys got. Alright, I want to look to flash on Zoe just so I can get onto them. Okay. Let's go! Pentakill! Let's fucking go! Nice. Yeah, this build's really, really strong, especially when you get the 5 items. I know I'm really, really fed, but 5 items, I mean 6 items pretty much with boots. It feels really, really strong. So yeah, if you guys like the video, leave a like, comment, let me know what you guys think, and let me know what to do next. I can pretty much play most junglers, so leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys.